Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fight fans round the world, I am Robert Huddleston. This is Huddlestone's Hideaway, and this is the golden age of combat sports. This past weekend was UFC 243, and I predicted that Rob Whittaker would win every round against Israel Adesanya, and I was wrong. I predicted that Al Iaquinta would beat Dan Hooker. I was wrong there too. I actually kind of want to take that one back when I watched the weigh-in and saw how much bigger Dan was than Al. So I was just praising on how good is Al Iaquinta. Well, how good is Dan Hooker? And taking nothing away from Dan Hooker, does going all the way to the other side of the planet take something out of Al? If they fought stateside, would he win? I shouldn't say that. Not trying to demean Dan's win. He looked wonderful. I did not pick him to win, so I'll eat a little crow there. He proved me wrong. I was way picking Rob to win over Izzy. I don't think Rob fought a smart fight. I think he could have maybe out kickboxed Izzy, but should have never attempted it. It should have been a mixed martial arts fight. And then the way he kickboxed him, that works against others because he's Rob Whittaker, but you can't take one to give one because Izzy's not going to take him. He's going to roll. He's going to slip, and you're going to take one in the process. So trying to give him one to take one can't be your strategy. You have to fight a aggressively boring fight with clinch work. He had to make it uglier than he did, and he really fought Izzy's fight and shouldn't have. Now, I'm sure that wasn't the plan. I think ring rust was really a thing. Two big injuries in those last two fights. It had him out for 2 years, subsequently. Or an injury from Romero, and then, I'm sure it was just a leftover injury exacerbated by training that led to his bowel issue that he had to pull out of the fight with Gastelum. Coming in at 211 sometimes makes you the bigger, stronger guy. Is he coming in at like 183 and a half? I think just made him conditioned and sharp. Izzy had the perfect night, and Rob had the opposite of a perfect night. I can say nothing bad against Izzy. Congratulations. Megan Anderson fought. She fought, God bless, I couldn't tell you the girl's name, and it kind of seemed like a gimme fight, but her last couple fights have been very hard, and she had come up short. So I don't have a problem with her not getting thrown to the wolves again this time. All the after talk is, where does Rob go and where does Izzy go and who does Izzy fight next? And I heard some rumblings about because how thick Rob is and where he's beaten everybody else at 185 and will probably beat the next 2-3 guys he fights, but will that get him a fight with Izzy? Could he go to light heavyweight and get a fresh coat of paint and give his career a breath of fresh air? Because it would be a hard sell 2-3 fights from now the way he lost to Izzy. That's a great idea, except he's 2 wins away from getting beat up by John Jones. And then Israel says, let me defend my title once, and then he'll go up to 180, or he'll leave 185 to go to 205 and fight John Jones. That's also a bad mistake. They're both 6'4". Izzy has a 80-inch reach, John has an 84-inch reach. But John's just another dimension of man. Like, Izzy walked in under 185 pounds. John couldn't make 195. Does he have the same pedigree of striking that Izzy does? No. And I'm not a John Jones fan. But he's better everywhere than Izzy. Izzy will put none of that flash on him. John Jones would beat him up standing, and if he chose, he would maul him on the ground in the clinch against the cage. I think Rob would do great at 205 until he ran into either John Jones or Weidman. And I could be way wrong. I thought Luke Rockhold would do wonderful at 205, and he got just clobbered. So I think that leads to cruiserweight would be 225. We need a super middleweight division at 195. Because there's a lot of dudes that are kind of fluctuating. There's a lot of people that will never beat John Jones. And there's a bit of a line at 185. You have Costa, you have Gastelum, you have Romero. So before Rob could fight for a belt again at 185, it'll be a minute. He could feasibly fight for a belt in 2020 with the right set of wins. But I don't think he does anything to John Jones. I think it will take Stipe Miocic to beat John Jones. So, hey, great win for Izzy. I can take nothing away from him. He'll probably beat Paulo Costa in the next match. I don't know where Rob Whittaker goes. But boy, I sure picked from my heart and not my head here, because I can't bet against a Rob. Evander Holyfield was on Joe Rogan. One last thing. Evander Holyfield was on Joe Rogan, and he said that Tyson Fury got way too long of a 10-second count. He was calling it a 10 seconds. And said ultimately, by the time he got him up, checked his eyes, checked his gloves, it was a 30-second rest he got in the fight with Deontay Wilder. And the rumblings I'm hearing back is it's not stopwatch seconds, it's the discretional count of the referee. That 1, 2 isn't exactly 1, 2, 3 on a stopwatch. And Evander was saying that because of how out Tyson looked in that fight, the ref should have called it at 4 or 5 count. And I'm like, well, that's just preposterous. He got up. He won the rest of the round. He obviously didn't win the round because of the knockout. He won the rest of the round going forward. And, boy, it's hard for me. I mean, I almost agree with everything Evander says, and that just seems like sour grapes. Because he's a statesman with Deontay. So, tell me what you think. Is Evander wrong? How wrong was I about Izzy and Rob? Tell me what you think. Like, share, comment. Keep in touch. God bless. Behave, be brave.